All right, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to show you how easy it is to wipe out a country and wipe out many people in America. Let's check this out. And that's how easy it is. Now, this guy killed a whole family and probably many, many others. And he had a syringe in his hand, and the stuff that was inside the syringe was very deadly. Uh, and all he did was inject it at the bottom of the door, and it contaminated everything and killed a bunch of people. Uh, and that's how easy it is in America uh, to wipe people out. And we have nobody to blame. But I do have to say, our government failed us. Uh, can this be stopped? It sure could. But then you'd be crying to me that we've uh, got too extreme. We've gone too crazy. But most of the people everywhere, like I said, folks, even in Congress and Senate, uh, was poisoned, contaminated, whatever you want to call it. And that's how easy it is, folks. Until someone got smart and put up a camera, they finally caught the guy. Uh, yeah, I mean, it's just people are like, "What are you talking about?" Well, I'm talking about that's how easy it is. All these people dying. It's not by their own hands, and the proof is in the pudding. There it is. This was just a guy that uh, had a beef with the family, and the next thing you know, they're all dead, and all chemically, uh, and no one could figure it out. Not even the doctors could figure out what was going on until this guy put up a camera, and then they seen everything. So yeah, what's wrong with America? Well, this is what's wrong. We live in a country where not everybody is perfectly sane. They're completely crazy. And this guy got away with doing this for a long time. Yes, and that is actually a nurse top or whatever, a doctor, nurse person that works in a hospital or whatever. And if they're doing it to these people in their own neighborhoods and stuff, I imagine the body count is phenomenal within the hospitals, where they're literally just walking into hospitals dressed as nurses and doctors, walking up into a room, ejecting them with something, and walking right out. And nobody knows nothing, right? Well, it was a doctor, it was a nurse that did it. Well, without cameras, they would have never solved this case. And if it wasn't for somebody putting up a camera at that apartment complex, uh, they would have continued to kill everybody. And that's what we're dealing with. I'm not going to sugarcoat this stuff for you folks in America. I'm in charge, and I'm telling you folks, you are living amongst madmen and women And we have nobody to blame but our own selves for believing that the government is going to protect us all. And there you go. That's how you wipe out a whole complex without ever firing a bullet. Let's watch that again. Walks right up, takes the thing off the needle, the top of the needle. It's a syringe. And there he goes. Checks it right into the corner of the door. Just a little bit right in that door. Walks away. And now whoever goes through that area is now contaminated. And that's how easy it is to kill a whole community without ever pulling a trigger, without ever firing one shot. Little dab of that stuff right there in that syringe, and the whole family was sick. I think died. And that's how most of these people, yes, and that is what looks to be like he's a nurse or a doctor or whatever, wearing doctor clothes or whatever, but at least the top part of it. And yeah, the thing of this channel is called Silent Poison. Neighbor's deadly revenge exposed. Yeah, well, just one neighbor, and the next thing you know, if they got keys or there's no cameras on your property, yeah, they're killing you folks. They've been doing it for a long time, and the government's pissed, right? But we're throwing charges at the government. We're throwing charges at everybody on the streets too, right? They're like, oh, go. Well, either way, these people are going to get you folks. Well, what you did around here, whether it's in the courts or on the streets, they're going to get you. They're throwing up Trump's name and everything. I'm like, that's even better, right? That's even better, right? You did all this and you killed and poisoned people and tortured people and drove them nuts for Trump. All right, I'm sure the FBI and CIA and Congress and everybody would love to hear that story. But there you go, folks. That's how you do it without ever firing a bullet. And this has been going on for many, 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 many years in America. And it will continue to go on until the government wises up and realizes that your country has too many freedoms and you're underpowered and there's no way around it. You're going to have to use my drones to keep up with this. And if they would have had a drone dog there or even a drone flying around, they might have caught the guy sooner, but they didn't. And that's because these properties are like, well, we're not liable for anything. Well, you are liable for it. You are liable for it because you were asked to get cameras, you were asked to get security, and you refused to. And now that makes you actually suspect, and you were helping this guy. You didn't want this guy to get caught because you might have played a hand in it or something, or maybe that guy didn't pay his rent for a couple months or whatever. Whatever. They took it into their own hands. This dispute between the neighbors or whatever, and the neighbor ended up killing the whole family. So who's the idiot now? I would say that apartment complex. And that's another thing we're getting sick of, Trump. I hope you're listening, government and everything. We're getting sick of these businesses and government funded places that are getting away with murder because they're affiliated with the government. That no longer will be going on in the United States of America. They will be charged. If not, they will be hunted down on the streets. I'm just telling you. I'm just passing the word down the street, right? We're just passing it along. No matter what, the American citizens will get revenge and justice whether they take it into their own hands. I suggest the government get their heads out of their asses uh, and take them 88,000 IRS agents that you hired and turn them into uh, law enforcement and have them start patrolling. And then, like I said, this will continue until the government gets manpower or drones to patrol uh, in the United States. It's gone crazy, completely crazy. How many families did this guy kill? Who knows? They have them on this family, right? That the whole family got sick and passed away. Now, how long has he been doing it? Who knows? Because there was no cameras there, and that's how they just get away with murder. There you go, folks. That easy without even pulling a trigger. Uh, War has come so far advanced that these guys are worried about. You're trying to take your gun. We don't need your guns. You folks are totally lost and way behind in technology, and they don't need guns anymore. This is a silent killer. By the time you get to the hospital and they try and figure out what's going on, which most of these people are doctors, don't even know what they're doing. By the time they figure it out, you'd be dead. So this is exactly what we're talking about and bringing in front of Congress and Senate. You failed. You've been failing America for a long time. Many millions of people have died since we pointed this out many years ago. And like I said, we don't even need a weapon anymore. All it takes is just a little touch of this stuff, and they're all dead. They wanted to giving it to him. Now listen. Here he walks up with a needle and checks just a little bit of that stuff in the corner of the door. He's gone, and the whole family died. How many people before this family? Who knows? Who knows? But that's how easy it is to conquer a country without even firing a weapon. I'm going to smack you in the face again, America. Get your fucking shit together or suffer the consequences. You take a look at this video and see how easy. When we warned you, and I guess the count is dramatic, and you'll never hear about the body count. And you will never hear how many families this guy killed. You will never hear about it because that's hush hush. That's showing that the government made mistakes. The property owner of that apartment complex made mistakes. And he should have listened. And you got a whole bunch of fucking dead bodies now, bitch. How you like that? Get your heads out of your asses real fast, America. Because as I'm sitting here dying in front of you, they're coming for yous next. God dang guns and everything. Well, you ain't take. We got guns. You got guns. You got guns. That's good. Keep an eye in the sky. Oh, what's that fog moving across America? Right? You're a bunch of idiots. You caused the demise of many people because you were just too stubborn to listen because you were a big shot caller. Well, we're getting the body count stats up of how many innocent people were murdered because these people failed to listen and do their job. You don't tell us you're an idiot on disability with an 8th grade degree diplomacy. That's right. But I'm telling you, they're killing your people. And we called the authorities and told you numerous times, and you did nothing. And now these people killed the owner and the maintenance people. How you like that? How you like that? I suggest you boys get somebody on the phone that knows what the F they're doing before you got massive trouble in this country because they've been using cyanide and all kinds of shit around here. You boys screwed the pooch. And I told you not to fuck with these guys, and you did. And you did it to yourselves. Now, you folks have a good day. And like I said, you can keep your guns. War has advanced way, way more than you'll ever figure out, idiots. And they're stomping the shit out of America. No, I want them to see it again, how easy it is. Yep, looked just like a nurse, didn't it? Or a doctor, right? Nobody would suspect that, and no one does. And that's why your body count is so high in your hospitals, in your communities, and everywhere else, you effing idiots. And if you ever tell me I don't know what I'm talking about in this country, I'll show you the body count, pricks. You're idiots. Complete idiots. Your guns ain't going to save you this time. And I told you that many years ago. You're dealing with a different group of guys in a different warfare. And you're fucked. And take that to your fucking bank, idiots. You wanted a war. And they brought it to your fucking idiots' asses. And you can't figure out what's going on. And I told you, you fuck with these guys, and you're going to be fucked. And you're fucked, United States. You're fucked. I suggest you boys get your heads out of your asses and get your asses boots on the ground, drones in the sky, dogs and everything, because they've been killing all kinds of people this way in this little town and in this country. Now, F off. I got work to do. And don't come to me unless you got somebody with intelligence